A philosophy of the voice in K-pop Demon Hunters. Hi, I'm Nicholas Crawford. I'm a philosopher whose children love K-pop Demon Hunters, and it's a really great film whose songs and lyrics take you on a very clear structural journey that is very much worth digging into. It really begins with Golden, which is the film's main song, and it's a statement of saying we are at odds with our position in our life, our identities, and we can't fully live up to our role, being the queen we're meant to be, etc., the way people see us as. So the thing that's in the way are demons. We must destroy this barrier, the demons, and everything will be serene afterwards. We'll be able to be what we're meant to be. This is just the starting point of the film, though. This is not the whole statement of what the film is doing. This conflict with the demons, this barrier, gets turned upside down with the entry of the boy band demon group into the world with their song Soda Pop. So what they do is introduce this idea of being the partial object, a literal bottle of soda. And they're saying, I'm going to enjoy you like this bottle of soda. And this upsets the girls. It enrages them, but they're swept away by it as well. So what we have to keep in mind is being reduced to a partial object is a fundamental aspect to sexuality itself. It's not simply a sexist abuse, even though it can reach in that direction. It's fundamental to the relationship, a love relationship itself. And it's particularly this male slant towards that, a male response to the sexual relation, to reduce the female counterpart here to being a partial object to be enjoyed. And the feminine response that we get from the girls is not simply rage and rejection, but it's a dismantling of the mask of the male and their posturing. So this is what we get with Breakdown. So they're taking down this boy band because they see they're actually demons. They're putting on a pretty face to the world, but they've got a dark side. So the real point here is more than just we see your dark side. Because I've talked about this in the masks, the philosophy of masks video, but the real insight, the real feminine insight regarding masks is there is just a void there. There's more truth in the mask than what's behind it. So we're not actually fixated on the true self behind the mask. But the real point with Takedown is that this boy band group isn't living up to what they say they are. They're posturing, and their posturing is a fake. And they aren't living up to this full phallic presence. They aren't being these good guys, right? They aren't a worthy object of love because of that. So this is a really nice encapsulation of a sexual relation here. The being turned into a partial object for enjoyment and being rejected for not living up to their full phallic presence, to not actually being the thing that guarantees the consistency of the world. That's basically what the phallus achieves. It covers up castration. So this is not just a matter of being male. It's a matter of filling a role. Now, beautifully, what actually breaks you out of this antagonism, this male-female pop star at each other's throats situation, is love. The love of Rumi and Genu. And the way it very clearly works in the song is they see in each other what's more than them. So not what they present to the world, not their true inner selves, but the love actually inserts into them a different version of who they are, mutually. So Rumi's problem is she's not able to live up to the identity of her own skin, the marks on it, and Genu did something terrible, and he's obviously duplicitous, but is he just, does he have the freedom to break out of it, or is he just stuck in this trauma he's trying to erase of himself, this effort of self-erasure? So by falling in love together despite themselves, they're creating new versions of each other for each other that frees them from their lot in life, from their situation. And so they literally go flying in their duet together. But it's not as simple as this. We have the reversal of the Takedown song applied to Rumi, which breaks up the group and reveals her own mask to the world, her own marks, and threatens to destabilize reality itself. The demons come into the world, and that leads to the like dark love song of your idol, where we're in the thrall of the demons, and they're in full control and sucking away our very life force. This is so this particular attachment is what we're getting to in your idol. So I'm very hesitant to say that your idol is the bad version of love. This intense particular attachment is an inherent aspect to love, and we need to see that. We need to be swept away by the your idol song, the way all the characters are getting swept away by the demons in the performance. But what's important is we get to a complete dialectical shift. We change from our own position with with what it sounds like, which is the basically an apotheosis of the voice that shatters the very texture of reality for the demons. But what we're doing in that song is identifying with our very own skin, our own position fully. We're not disavowing an aspect of it in order to have the position we want. So we are giving up the identity that we were clinging to in the original song, Golden. We're not queens anymore. We're liars, cowards, whatever. And we're broken, but in terms of identity, but by clinging through love of the girls and love of Ruby and Ginu, we are able to transform, to become something else. And so we have the shift of color with the markings by the end of the film, and the eradication of the demon invading the world, but also of Ginu. There's a giving up of that love relation in its very existence. So we go through this intense journey of particular love in order to arrive at a particular love based around a community of people who love, or believers, so to speak. So, love of Huntrix and their songs. That's why the film has to end with going back to the fans and it just being about this connection between the girls and their fans. This is what you engage with philosophically as you're listening to the music from K-pop Demon Hunters again and again, like I do every day, and stay in that particular attachment. So that's the connection between love of like romantic love and a love that binds a group together.